Master Jones, thank you so much for taking the time with me today to review my presentation to you over my idea of improving the performance and evaluation of our schools by introducing CPR to all of our instructors and putting in an AED machine into every single one of our locations. 1 month ago, we all witnessed at the International Martial Arts Association a sparring match where a teenager received a front kick to the chest and dropped him to the ground in a minute while the referees kind of looked over him to see what had happened. They thought he was just hurt, but with a quick evaluation realized that he was unresponsive, he was not breathing, and quickly got an EMT over there. And with CPR and the use of an AED machine, that teenager was taken to the hospital and released, and now will be back training in the next 3 months. But because those CPR and an AED machine was used in that life-saving situation, the percentage of his recovery increased tenfold. So let me explain to you a little bit about how our schools have evolved and how this comes into play with our goals. Our adult population at our elite karate has increased tenfold. We set the goal back in 2016. Since then, we have introduced Krav Maga training, we have introduced cardio kickboxing, and we've also added in parent classes, which are very high energy classes. They're designed to increase their muscle structure and to push them beyond what they normally are capable of doing in their own workouts. This chart, sir, gives you an idea of how we have grown over the past 3 years. Since 2016 to 2018, you'll see on the bottom, the maroon line represents our elite dragons, our littlest guys, and they have grown from year to year. And as well as the middle line, which is the black line, which represents our junior population. Both of these classes have increased 25% since 2016. That's an amazing growth, sir. And if you look at the top line, the navy blue line, that line represents the number of adults that are training in our locations. And since 2016, we have had a 50% growth rate in the age groups from 20 to 65. I took a moment and I went through and got all of the schools gave me their adult registration forms. And through each and every one of those forms, I picked out the 5 top reasons that adults come into training into our program. One was to decrease their stress. That was the top one. The second one was to increase their cardiovascular endurance. That was the second highest. The third highest was people just really wanted to train with their children and have an activity that would grow them and bring them together more in a commonality. The fourth one, they wanted to lose weight. And then the fifth one was personal safety and understanding how to protect themselves and their families. With that in mind, some of the precursors, according to the American Heart Association, for cardiac arrest were increased stress levels, carrying anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds overweight or more, and low cardio output. Their ability to push themselves was low. So understanding that people are coming in for the reasons to get in better shape, but some of the reasons that they're coming in with the ability of pushing them could put them into a cardiac arrest situation. The heart, sir, if you make a fist in your hand and you put it in the center of your chest and then move a little to your left, that's about where your heart sits. One half of your body brings unoxygenated blood into the heart, goes to 2 of those chambers of your heart, there's 4 of them altogether, goes into your lungs. The blood then comes back down through the other 2 ventricles and then pumps through your body. the whole purpose of the heart is to pump oxygenated blood through all of our organs. When a cardiac arrest occurs, there's an electric malfunction in the heart. So the electrical stimulations that make the heart beat at 70 to 80 minutes or beats per minute actually gets interrupted. Now, a cardiac arrest can be abrupt and it could be sudden. And according to the American Heart Association, sir, every 43 seconds in the United States, somebody dies. And 350,000 of the occurrences actually happen outside of a hospital setting. So it could be in a pool, it could be in a school, it could be in an aerobics class, it could be on a driveway. It could have happened in a karate tournament, sir. So this is something that definitely affects every single one of us as instructors and our responsibility as we're teaching people. Every minute certainly does count. And as you're aware, we teach martial arts to the community to prepare them for an incident that could happen. But the CPR and an AED training will help prepare our staff and our instructors in case something could happen. So as I'm explaining to you what CPR and AED training, I'm sure you've heard of these terms, but I want to kind of go through them a little bit with you. First of all, what is CPR? CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It is something that someone does to someone when they find them unconscious by putting their hands and their fists on top of in a certain position on their chest and pumping it pushing down on their chest at about 100 pushes per minute. It can be formed by one person or two. Pushing on their chest like that will pump blood through their body. It works for the heart since it's not working for itself. And it continues to send oxygenated blood to the organs and decreases the dying muscle in the heart from not being worked and for not getting oxygen. So CPR is actually pumping for the heart. According to the Heart Association, one of the main reasons people don't want to do CPR for physicians is because they think that they have to actually breathe into their mouth, germs, diseases, etc. CPR now, and we will learn that through our training, can be done with one person or two, but does not need to have the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation used if that is something that concerns the individual that's doing the CPR. An AED is an automated external defibrillator. So if you remember what I said, that the heart has electrical stimuli that make it pump and continue to keep that beat going. Well, when that heart stops, that electrical stimulation stops. So the AED machine will shock the heart as the stimuli to get it pumping again. Education is definitely needed to perform this. However, if somebody saw an AED machine and they didn't know what to do and opened it, it would actually tell them exactly what to do. The machine itself is self-explanatory. When you put the paddles on the person, the individual, the machine actually will read their EKG and it will not shock them if there is not a flat line. So if somebody looks like they're not breathing or it looks like their heart is not working and you go to shock them, it will protect the person that's on the ground, and it delivers the shock to restart the heart, and then you go into CPR right away in between the shocks, and the shocks are about 2 minutes apart from each other. So understanding and learning how to do this for our staff is something that will save lives and will increase their empowerment. According to the CPR Certification Online headquarters, there are many situations where CPR and an AED machine would help the outcome of the individual. Drownings, although I know we do not have big pools in our school or even around our school, we do take children to pools during our camp functions in the summer. This will definitely help in a situation if a child is failing to come up from underneath the water. Electrical shock severe allergic reactions. We have all sorts of children here and adults that have allergic reactions to foods and things in the air. Drug overdoses. Obviously, a heart attack it would be useful in. And according to the American Heart Association, there are a heart attack and a cardiac arrest are two completely different issues. A heart attack is more of a blockage in the heart that stops the flow of the blood pumping through it. And a cardiac arrest is when the heart suddenly stops because of the electrical stimulation stopping. Sudden strenuous exercise routine, a sudden impact to the chest are two actions that could potentially put somebody into a cardiac arrest. Being CPR and AED certifications is simple, sir. I'm going to go through the next slide and explain to you exactly what it would take for our schools to be certified. But looking at the certification itself, I have found a woman that will make this process very simple. She's a student that's already into our program. She is certified by the Red Cross. And I think that she would be a great addition to our staff in this capacity. CPR can be done in a group rate. It also can be done online, and the certifications are still available online. But CPR as a group, I've experienced it. As you know, I'm an RN. I'm not certified to teach it, otherwise I would. But the certification can be done as a group, and it will also incorporate team bonding as everyone's learning together. In a group setting, we could go school by school by school, and it would be $40 a person for every single one that attends, passes a certification, and will actually get a card saying that they are certified. It's an hour and a half training total. First 45 minutes is more on theory and on instruction of what the heart actually does. Also goes over choking and goes over the AED training. And then the second half of it actually is working on models and to really learn how to position your hands, where to position your hands if someone's choking, etc. So the CPR training involves a lot more than just saving somebody from having from a heart attack. The CPR training is a 2-year certification. Every 2 years, she would come back in, or somebody else could come back in and do the recertification. The AED machine is an actual machine that goes into the school and gets mounted in a place that's visible from everywhere. And I researched many different sites to find the best prices for an AED machine, and so they're about $14.95 a piece. And I found the best prices were actually on Amazon. And it does come with a 5-year warranty on the machine. It comes with everything that's needed. You don't need extra stuff on top of that. I know what you're thinking, and think $14.95 times 5 schools, that's quite an investment. And I understand that. So I have a couple ideas for you. Offset the prices of that so that it's actually coming through the schools. Parents' night outs are a wonderful way of raising funds. We generally will raise anywhere from $600 to $800 a night. Take out the expenses, that adds $500. So 3 of those per school, we could have the funds to purchase an AED machine. Car washes are another way. Board breaking days would be terrific. An ice cream demo night. And at the Black Belt Spectacular, put in a donation box. These are wonderful ways to bring the teams together for a common cause, and bringing in the student body so they understand what we're doing for their protection would only continue to raise the value of our program. So our students expect us to be professional instructors. Increasing our knowledge in personal safety is always a must in our career. Also, raising our awareness of helping our student body and especially our adult population, and letting them understand that we have their back in case, as they're training, something were to happen, that they're in safe hands. They know that their children are in safe hands, and now it's just important to come behind and alongside of our adult population The investment that we make, whether it be $3,000 a school and putting in the machines and getting everybody certified, $3,000, sir, is nothing in comparison to the value of a person's life in our school. So please, if you would like to go through this presentation one more time so you understand everything, this would be a great investment and add value to every single one of our instructors and our students. I appreciate your time. Thank you. The main references used for this presentation was the Heart Certification CPR.com, the Heart Organization, and Amazon.